Right, what's going on, my friend? This is Jake of JG Calisthenics, and today I want to make this video just like as I've done in the past, just to share my thoughts and my feelings, and also to just update you on what's been going on behind the scenes, right? Because obviously there's a lot of things you see on camera that you don't see off camera. Do you know what I mean? So obviously the last few weeks, obviously I'm sure if you have been on this channel on the Game Trade Express for a while, you'll know that obviously recently we've picked up a lot of momentum, especially on this YouTube channel. We literally went from like 20,000 subscribers to 30,000 in the space of just a few weeks. It was absolutely crazy. And obviously from that point, behind the scenes though, even though when everything looked like it was going so well, because things were going well, things were also not going so well here, if that makes sense. I was going a bit crazy. So with that said, obviously last year I set myself some big goals in all areas of my life, personal, fitness, health, business, all that good stuff, right? And honestly, like only a few weeks back, I actually achieved all those goals in a much shorter time frame. And so obviously the fact that I achieved those goals in a much shorter time frame, it was a case of like, obviously it was awesome. I was like, okay, this is awesome. I've achieved these goals right much sooner than I thought. And from that point, celebrated, and after that, it's kind of just like when everything kind of goes back to normal and that sense of accomplishment kind of just fades away. It's just like, okay, what now? What do I do now? I just had no idea what to do. I was like, okay, we got to this point. I know how I was here and I knew how to get to here. But now I was like, I don't even know where I want to go from this point, right? Because I hadn't set myself new goals. And from that point, because I didn't do anything about that, I just got very complacent with everything. I just felt very stagnant in my mind. And from that point, as I had more time on my hands, I started occupying my time with things that weren't so productive, right? Obviously, sometimes I watch Netflix, but I started spending more time on, films and, shows I didn't even want to watch. I just watched them just because, I just felt like doing it. And also, right, on my phone, I thought, during this lockdown and quarantine, obviously I'm sure I'm not the only one. Obviously, if you're just at home all day and can't go out, honestly just feeling a bit lonely and isolated, that you can't really actually meet any people in person. So from that point, I was just like, let's try out Tinder and Bumble, right? And so from that point, I just, spent most of my day on that. It was so freaking addictive. Obviously, it's how the apps are designed to keep you on the app. Do you know what I mean? So from that point, I actually spent, I kid you not, half of a week, right? Just swiping left, swiping right. Literally, it was kind of just like empty pleasure. And sure, got some matches and spoke to some very attractive women. But from that point, it's like when I actually look back at, my ultimate goal and ultimate purpose of, transforming the bodies and lives of over 100,000 people, I'm just thinking to myself, I'm just like, I'm talking to these chicks, I'm swiping left, I'm swiping right. I'm just like, what am I doing? I was just like, what am I actually doing in my life? I literally just had to look at myself in the mirror, just like, Jake, it's like, with how much more time you're spending on these, these dating apps and Netflix and that, and you're spending less time on your actual purpose, it's like, you're just going to start detracing all the hard work you've actually been putting in. And so from that point, I was just like, wow, I was just like, I've got to do something about this, man. Like my head was just going insane. I was literally all over the place. Like, man. God, don't do that. It actually hurt my neck a bit. But I was all over the place, right? I was all over the place mentally, right? On the front end, everything looked like it was going fantastically because it did. But here, I didn't know what to do. So from that point, I just thought to myself, like, what do I really want? Like, what do I want to create ultimately? And so from that point, that's where I just did the same as what I did last year. I looked at where I was now. I looked at where I actually want to go by actually taking the time to actually look, just connect the dots. And from there, in all areas of my life, as I said, I set myself new goals and bigger goals. So from that point, I'm just like, boom, I'm absolutely on it now. And from that point, obviously, I realized that in order to do that, I need to remove the distractions again. So from that point, best way to do it, I deleted both apps. I deleted Tinder and Bumble. I'm pretty sure I actually got couple good matches with some pretty paying chicks afterwards, but from that's not my point, right? From that point, obviously I understood that the woman's going to come and she's going to come. It's like I'd much rather meet her in person compared to after swiping left or right on someone before, right? I think there's much more to know about women and a person compared to how they just look on a dating app. Do you know what I mean? So besides my point, obviously from there I was back on it. I was back on track. Damn, my neck actually hurts after earlier. But besides my point, I was back on track. I was literally realising my purpose of, impacting the lives of over 100,000 people, and now I had a clearer sense of vision of how I was going to make it happen. You know what I mean? So from that point, I've just been grinding. I've just been back on like my good habits of getting on track and making progress in all areas of my life. And even though, you know, like on Facebook and Instagram, sometimes I'm scrolling, sometimes like some dating app ads come up, I'm just like, nah, I ain't got time for this. I ain't got time to waste time like before, right? So with that said, obviously for me, I now wake up like I had been doing for so many months and years before. I wake up excited, waking up with a purpose and a clear vision of, you know, what I want to accomplish at the start of the day, and what I want to accomplish the next day, right? And obviously, you know, as I've shared on my Instagram stories behind the scenes, you may see some of the things I'm working on behind the scenes with JG Calisthenics and such. Make sure to follow me there if you're not already, JG_Calisthenics. And so obviously, my point is obviously like when you've got big goals, a big purpose, and a big mission and driving force as a whole, it's like you're gonna find a way to make it happen, right? It's like you're not gonna complain about putting in the work. You're not gonna complain about being lazy and not being motivated. It's like you're just gonna do it, right? It's like your driving force is so big. It's like you're always gonna figure out how to make it happen. Do you see what I mean? And so from that point now, I'm just pumped. I'm just freaking pumped to get things going and create, you know, what I want to create. And again, as I learned from before, like this is the ultimate learning lesson, right? Again, this is not the learning lesson of like I'm no online dating expert, because I'm not, right? My point is that, you know, when you set goals and you achieve them, you don't want to just stay there and just get complacent, because again, trust me, as I learned, it's like you're going to start doing things you wouldn't usually do to the point where you actually start untracing all the hard work being put in. It's like, right, you repeat, you set goals, you set big goals that excite you, you work to achieve them, and once you achieve them, you repeat it, you repeat it, you repeat it. You keep going on and on, you keep moving forward, because it's like, especially when we look at health and fitness as an example, it's like I've had clients who have come to me with their starting point and they got big goals. It's like one client who is skinny may want to build 10 pounds of lean muscle, and then someone who wants to lose fat may want to lose 50 pounds, right, as a whole. And so from that point, it's like I've worked with clients for 3 months, 6 months, even over a year, right? And once they achieve their goals, whether it's building 10 pounds of muscle or losing 50 pounds, right? It's like from that point, like from there, as I've learned from several times in the past, especially recently, as I've spoken about, it's like we don't feel complacent, right? It's like, right, we achieve the goals, we celebrate, we acknowledge our wins in that, and then from there, we keep moving forward. We set new goals. We keep on moving and striving forward from there, because if I just let them get complacent with those goals, it's like they're just going to get very complacent of either just like maintaining those results or even going back to their old habits, which got them to, you know, which then gets them to where they were before, which obviously they don't want, because being in that position is what made them actually reach out to me in the first place. So as I said, once you achieve a goal, it's like you don't take your foot off the gas, you keep the freaking foot on the gas, you keep on going, right? Because again, it's like, you know, as humans, right, what motivates us most is like living with a purpose. And in order to live with a purpose is having goals, right? It's having goals that make it worthy to, you know, accomplish. And so again, whether it's health and fitness or all areas of your life, ultimately when you've got a big enough why and big enough driving force, as I said, you'll always make a way to make it happen, and you'll actually, you know, enjoy the amount of work that's required to do it rather than resent the amount of work, because ultimately anything that's worthy in life, you know, it doesn't come easy. Otherwise, you know, all of us would have everything we want to accomplish in life. Again, like success is hard. It's like accomplishing what you want. It takes hard work, it takes sacrifice, it takes a lot of commitment and discipline and dedication, but as a whole, it's like if you want it bad enough, you'll find a way to make it happen. And that's what actually makes us humans most fulfilled, of always having something to work towards in life, all areas of our life, right? So yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest. It feels really good. Get it off my chest. My neck doesn't actually feel so good after like twisting it just there. But besides my point, honestly, I want to also not just say thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I also want to say thank you for, you know, your support, your encouragement, your ongoing, you know, support, as I said, because if it wasn't for your support and being a part of the Gains Train Express, obviously everything we've accomplished, right, wouldn't be possible. So I want to say I'm extremely grateful for your support. And as I said, it's like keep moving forward, set goals, achieve them, and repeat. Because initially, if you think that setting a goal and working towards something, it feels like so far away at first, obviously understand that, you know, momentum is hard to build, but it's easy to sustain, right? It's like once you've got that momentum going and you've got the habits and systems in place, it's like everything just becomes easier and like second nature. So it becomes like a snowball effect. Do you see what I mean? So yeah, is that everything covered? is that everything covered? Damn, like, I shouldn't have done that on my neck. My neck actually really hurts now. But besides my point, yeah, I think that's everything. I think that's everything covered. So, as I said, set goals, achieve them, repeat, right? Do not stagnate. Keep your foot on the gas. Keep moving forward, my friend. And I'll see you in the next video.